Hi, this is JP from Studio JPEG. In this video, I will show you how to upgrade the firmware on a camera. So for this one, I'm doing with the Canon 6D. There's a new firmware upgrade that just came out. So I'll use this as an example. But it's pretty much the same idea for all the Canon DSLR cameras. So one thing first is you have to go on the Canon website and download the firmware. And you copy it to the root directory of your memory card. After that's done, and make sure when you download the firmware that you check all the instructions also. And once that's done, you put the memory card in the camera. You go in memory, and always make sure that you have full batteries or very close to full. So in the 6D, you have the battery information. So since I have the battery grip, I have two batteries in here. The first one at 93% and the other one at 96%. So that's pretty fresh batteries. So I'm going to go again in the menu, scroll down to firmware, and it says current firmware version is 1.1.3, update firmware yes or okay. And it's going to detect that on the memory card I have version 1.1.4. So it's going to automatically install it. The camera resets and all that. So please select new firmware version. So currently 1.1.3. And then I have the 1.1.4 version here. So I select it, confirm the update. And it's going to give me a nice percentage on this one. Now each version could be a little different if you do this on a Rebel or a different Canon camera. The layout and the text could be a little bit different, but it pretty much works the same on each one. So I'll just fast forward this part so you don't have to wait a minute or so while the new firmware is installing, and we'll be back at 100%. And as you can see on the warning on the screen, it says to not turn off the power or to touch any buttons. So it's really recommended you just leave it there, you don't touch anything, because you actually risk to brick your camera, and then you probably would have to send it back to Canon, which I'm hoping they would be able to flash a new firmware in for you, but I would rather not have to find out. So again, just make sure that you have a full battery in and you don't touch anything while the firmware is updating. And if you do decide to use the AC power supply, I would recommend that you use some sort of power backup system, just in case that the electricity goes off in your building. Then the power backup would keep the camera on while the firmware update finishes. Alright, so we have the little pop-up saying that the update is complete. You press OK and the camera reboots. And then if you press the menu button, and you can see that the firmware is successfully updated. And at this point you can use the camera, shut it off, or do anything else. The update is finished and everything is back to normal. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please leave them in the box below. If you like the video, please click like, subscribe, and share with a friend. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.